is going on, guys? JD from New York here. Thank you so much for tuning back into the channel tonight, December 6th, 2016, 205 Live, Smackdown Live review for tonight's shows. And I'm going to start off with 205 Live, man. I don't know what it is, and it's going to become a problem, just like we stated last week, man. I love what the Cruiserweights are doing. I love, if you watch tonight's show, they're developing storylines. There's tension between everybody. They're integrating simple storylines, whether it's with Alicia Fox and Cedric Alexander. Noam Dar dedicating his win tonight over Cedric Alexander to Alicia Fox, who now, per storyline, is a couple with Cedric Alexander. You know, the tension building between Rich Swann and TJ Perkins. TJ Perkins showing you some heel tendencies, you know, and then TJ Perkins getting involved in the main event as he sat behind commentary. Austin Aries, who's going to be a part of the Cruiserweight division, throwing some bullshit at TJ Perkins, making fun of him tonight. Had some gems in there. He asked TJ Perkins, listen, bro, what are you doing sitting out here with me? Shouldn't you be out catching Pikachu somewhere? Absolutely fucking great stuff going on. There's some great fucking stuff going on. Mauro Ranallo, Corey Graves. This is a winner. You look at it from top to bottom and the talent they have on this roster, and you have the two voices who are the absolute best at what they do in the WWE right now. You had Austin Aries, who's playing a great heel protagonist as a color commentator until he gets back from injury. Everything is working so well, except for the entire feel of the show. Instead of bringing it in front of a crowd that is really going to legit care, instead of taping the show before SmackDown where the crowd is hot, they're not as tired, you know, they want to have it live after SmackDown where everybody's ready to go home. I'm fucking exhausted. I am exhausted, and I blame that on Monday Night Raw, being that it was a fucking absolutely abysmal piece of shit. And I got flack for it all day. I don't even want to go into it. Raw is fucking garbage. And if you don't believe me, if you don't agree with me, I mean, your flagship show has a fucking opening match with the Big Show in it in 2016. Continue to fucking make fun about what I do here and critique my criticisms of Monday Night Raw. Please, when the Big Show is on Monday Night Raw in the opening contest of a match in December of 2016, I have every fucking right and every reason to fucking shit all over that show. Complete and utter AIDS. That is all I'm going to say from that. But due to that fucking abysmal show, we had 3 hours of complete garbage last night. SmackDown really wasn't all that interesting tonight. 205 Live was great, but the crowd was dead. I mean, 6 hours of wrestling in the last 2 days, people. 6 hours of wrestling. And none of it was overly exciting. None of it was overly exciting. There's reasons for it. I'm going to back up my reasons for what I just stated. But as far as 205 Live goes, they got to do something with this, man. This is the second week, and already people are talking. People who are in the industry are talking. Dirt sheets are talking. People who do the same thing that Joe and I do, and Rusty and Pulse and all these other guys, they're all talking. You know, everybody who wants to fucking sit down behind a microphone and talk about WWE, podcasters, Solid Monsters saying it. I haven't listened to Jim Ross or Stone Cold Steve Austin on the topic yet. The word is getting around, man. It's not working. You either tape it before SmackDown where the crowd is hot, and then you air it after SmackDown, or you completely move it to Wednesday nights and tape it in front of Full Sail University. That's it. That is it. I'd rather see the 1 hour on Wednesdays. I'd rather see the 1 hour on Wednesdays either before or after NXT. Move NXT to 9 o'clock and put the Cruiserweights on at 8 o'clock. Or put the Cruiserweights on at 9 o'clock. Whatever. You want to fucking keep NXT at the same time slot at 8 o'clock? Fine. But it's got to be on Wednesdays, man. I'd rather have a 3-hour block on Wednesdays that I actually enjoy, and the crowd's going to be into it, you know? You got NXT, you got Lucha Underground, and then you got 205 Live. I would be perfectly okay with that. But with the way the crowd is going right now, they're not appreciating what we're seeing in the ring. There's some great in-ring wrestling action tonight, man. The psychology down to what these guys are doing in the ring is fucking phenomenal. You know? I love some wrestling, man. I want some wrestling on my fucking television shows. We've seen more wrestling tonight from the cruiserweights than we've seen in the entire fucking span they've been on Monday Night Raw. This is what we want to see. But something is off here. Something is off. The crowd and the ambiance and the fucking environment and the presentation is just not there. It is not working. You got to get these guys in front of people that are legit going to care about the show. Because the fucking casuals and the kids and the parents, the mothers, the fathers, you know, they seen the Ortons and they seen the Wyatts and they seen the Ambroses, right? They seen the Daniel Bryans. Who the fuck's going to want to stay and see an Arya Davari? Who the fuck's going to want to stay and see a Jack Gallagher, right? Who's going to want to stay and see these guys? They don't know anything. It's going to take them a little while to get used to what these guys are and used to who these guys, you know, what they do in the ring. So, something's got to be done. I don't know what's got to be done as far as what WWE has to do, but it's got to be done. I'm tired of watching these shows and it's fucking dead silent. I mean, these guys are busting their fucking ass, and the crowd is 50% of the entire reason for an enjoyable show. If the crowd is dead, the show by default sucks. Something's off. I can't take it anymore, man. Something's got to be done, and this is the second week in a row. I am very interested, and I'm going to be monitoring this as the weeks go on if a change is made. Because I'm sure WWE is catching wind of it. I'm sure they know. Triple H wasn't there for Monday Night Raw. He wasn't there for SmackDown. He wasn't there for this. He's with the NXT brand as they're touring Australia, so maybe that was one of the reasons why things were off all week on WWE programming, because Triple H's presence wasn't there. I don't know, but this is going to be monitored very closely by a lot of people, and I hope something is done to just generate interest and excitement with this show, because it is great. The whole thing is great. There's so much promise there. I love the small, little intricate storylines that they're weaving into this, man. It's great. It's simple. It's easy to follow. I know who they are, but Johnny Come Lately sitting in the fucking crowd, you know, who's got to fucking be up for school at 8 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, he doesn't give a shit about this. His parents are getting ready for bed, you know? His parents are fucking packing his lunch for tomorrow morning and getting ready for him to go on the fucking cheese bus. Give me a break. Half the fucking people left that arena, I guarantee it. You know, we seen reports last week that people were leaving as soon as 205 Live started. I would not be surprised if we heard similar stories today, but I also heard people were leaving Monday Night Raw last night, but I certainly don't blame them. That was a fucking piece of shit show. So, I don't know what's got to be done, but what we are coming up with as far as a plan for these guys in this show seems to be what a lot of people are talking about right now. Hopefully it's put into effect and some changes are made. You know, this is only week 2. We got to see what happens. You know, if it goes into a full month, you know, a month and a half, 2 months, then I don't know what to tell you, man. I really don't know what to tell you. The cruiserweights are not failing. It's just the way WWE is presenting them, and they seem to be making mistake after mistake after mistake with these guys, and it shouldn't be. This should be an easy fucking solution. Just do it. Just do it. Stop fucking around and do it, okay? So that's all I'm going to say about that. We're going to be monitoring that as the weeks go on. As far as the show tonight, we had Jack Gallagher and Arya Davari. Again, they had fought 3 times. Now, this was the 3rd time. Jack Gallagher had his taped knee, during this match, and this is something that was weaved into the little mini feud that these guys got going on. You know, Davari had 2 losses now, and he actually came out on top with a beautiful frog splash for the victory tonight, and the knee came into play. So they're weaving small little details into these guys to build some intrigue and some storyline, and I like that, man. I like Arya Davari. I think he's a great heel for the Cruiserweight division. He's just got to get some momentum underneath him. I love his theme music. It reminds me of something that I listen to, man, like a fucking Dream Theater or a fucking Theocracy, one of those prog metal bands, man. It sounds fucking great. But Arya Davari gets the win tonight over Jack Gallagher. So we'll see what happens with that. And they got something brewing there with those 2 guys. Cedric Alexander and Noam Dar, man. I'm still not on the Noam Dar hype train. I mean, the guy's fantastic in the ring. I can't stand his accent. It's something I definitely got to get used to. But I also like that they're weaving storylines into this as well. Noam Dar being a fucking cheeky cunt for his after-match promo here, saying that he's going to dedicate his victory to Cedric Alexander's girlfriend, Alicia Fox. And Alicia Fox was actually shown before the match kissing Cedric Alexander good luck. And Cedric Alexander in this match, man, his arm was being worked on. The psychology of what these guys are doing is great. It is there. But a lot of people in that crowd, they're not going to pick up on some of the things that you and I see. So I don't know what's going on, man. There seems to be no interest in what these guys are doing. I have a feeling the crowd is expecting fucking moonsaults and fucking hurricanranas and topes and fucking people leaping to their death when it comes to the cruiserweights. But, you know, something like this, a show like this where there's great wrestling psychology and in-ring action, mat-based wrestling, it's great as well. It's just the fucking crowd sucks the life out of the entire show. Cedric Alexander's arm was being worked on. Noam Dar gets the victory tonight. His first appearance on 205 Live. I expect big things from both of those guys, but it was nice to see Noam Dar come out there, 205 Live debut, and get a victory tonight over Cedric Alexander. And in the main event, Brian Kendrick versus Rich Swann. This is where the majority of my interest was. The crowd kind of picked up for this match tonight. And I'm not sure if you guys are noticing, TJ Perkins had a backstage segment with Rich Swann, and I replied to Rusty Falcon, my WWE 2K17 Universe Mode tag team partner. We're doing Raw and SmackDown, GCW. He mentioned to me, he's like, dude, do you get the feeling that TJ Perkins has some heel tendencies, you know, coming out? I'm like, yeah, I thought the same thing watching that Rich Swann backstage segment. And I really do see that heel-like tendency coming out of TJ Perkins. I don't know if it's just cockiness because he thinks he's better than everybody else. That could be mistaken for a heel tendency. That's just the way he is. That's the way he was in the Cruiserweight Classic, and everybody appreciated the raw talent that is TJ Perkins. I don't know if it's jealousy, you know, stemming from the fact that Brian Kendrick beat him for the Cruiserweight Classic, and he's envious that Rich Swann did something that he couldn't do. I don't know. All in all, it's building towards something within TJ Perkins that's really making him not a full-fledged babyface. And this was a guy that they had put total faith in building this division around as a babyface. And now that spot went to Rich Swann. The whole tide has changed, you know, with the Cruiserweight division. I love me some Rich Swann, man. But as far as the match goes, it was a great match. Brian Kendrick was going to do whatever it takes to get the title back tonight. He fell short again against Rich Swann. The ending of this match we seen Brian Kendrick throw Rich Swann into TJ Perkins tonight. And then TJ Perkins got up from the announce desk and he started staring at Brian Kendrick. Right? Brian Kendrick then threw Rich Swann back into the ring, and Brian Kendrick was listening for the referee's count, and he had to make it back into the ring so he doesn't get counted out. He didn't want to be preoccupied with what TJ Perkins was doing on the outside. So all of this was just building on Brian Kendrick's mind. He got back into the ring, and he ate a huge savate kick by fucking Rich Swann, knocked him out, 1, 2, 3. Rich Swann retains the Cruiserweight title tonight in the main event. I liked that match last week better than I did this week, but this week the storyline is building towards what I hope will be a triple threat match at Roadblock. If not at Roadblock, it'll be on 205 Live, but I do believe it'll be on Roadblock because they are building towards something and they need something solidified for the pay-per-view. But they all started brawling on the outside, man. We had a miscue by TJ Perkins. He accidentally kicked Rich Swann. We had Brian Kendrick and TJ Perkins going at it. It was fucking chaos. So I'm assuming that Rich Swann is going to take, you know, TJ Perkins up on what happened tonight, and he's gonna pretty much get in his face, and things are gonna be brewing there. Obviously, you had Brian Kendrick and TJ Perkins. They had something going on. You had Brian Kendrick take the title of Perkins. So there's involvement from everybody here, which will probably lead to a triple threat match, which I am a fan of, man. I have no problem with that at all. I think that should be a great contest if given the time. But all in all, man, it was a great episode of 205 Live. Again, they did what they had to do. It's just the crowd sucks the life out of the show. And it's tough to get into, especially when watching 3 hours of a fucking pitiful Raw and then watching a 2-hour SmackDown where really nothing developed at all. I mean, you had some things develop here and there, but it wasn't an overly eventful show. It didn't need to be. And then you have the fucking crowd who was pretty much dead for all of SmackDown bleed into 205 Live. It's a rough 3 hours of television, man. It's a rough 6 hours of television in total for Monday and Tuesday nights. So I really can't blame them, but WWE really has to look at this and see what is going on and hopefully make a decision as to what is going on with 205 Live. Now, the most interesting thing about SmackDown tonight is what happened on Twitter. I don't know what's going on here with WWE. Apparently, Naomi was left off Total Divas, and she was left off the graphic for Total Divas. Let me rephrase that. She was left off the graphic for Total Divas, says she's tired of the bullshit. Total Divas apparently was nominated for Best Reality Series in 2016 for the Win Awards. Never fucking heard of it before. I mean, who the fuck cares? Naomi is not featured on the graphic that they used to announce the nomination. Paige was also left off, which I'm not surprised by, nor should you be. Alicia Fox isn't even on the current season, and she was included in the graphic. Naomi also stated that she is the only woman on SmackDown without a storyline. So you got Nikki, Brie, Natalya, Eva, Alicia Fox, Maurice. You got Renee Young and Lana all on the graphic. Naomi, who's actually a part of the fucking show, is not on the graphic. So what the fuck does that mean? Well, is WWE doing this on purpose? People are already crying, oh, it's because Naomi's it's the color of her skin. I mean, give me a fucking break. You know, people are always out to fucking make it a racial issue. Who the fuck knows what WWE's motive is, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's a racial issue anyway. I mean, look at what they do to fucking Apollo Crews every single fucking week. I mean, give me a break. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if that was a thing with Naomi. Naomi's always been treated and put into the back of the line for whatever reason, man. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but she's tweeted tonight, "Where's my picture?" on the little graphic for this Win Award for Total Divas. The hell I know, but I'm all over the fucking BS. I'm all over the BS. She didn't drop the F-bomb. That's just me. I'm all over the BS. I'm giving my all, and I have since day one. And then she also says, I'm the only diva with no storyline. With a question mark. So, I don't know what's going on here, but if Naomi keeps tweeting like that, she ain't going to be on TV, period. So, very, very interesting developments there as far as what's going on. I just got a tweet. Look at this. I'm not watching Talking Smack. One of my subs, Jesse, just tweeted me here. DM me, actually. Rhino and Heath Slater broke up on Talking Smack as I'm reviewing this. I don't know what the fuck is going on, man. This is all over the place. Apparently, they broke up. I don't know what that means. That's one less tag team for SmackDown. I don't know if that's a wise decision right now, but so be it. Beauty and the Man Beast are no more. So now pretty much they could go back to doing what they were originally scheduled to do, being jobbers. So the Cinderella story is officially over as far as Heath Slater and Rhino go. So thank you, Jesse, for filling me in on that as I am conveniently recording this review. AJ Styles is injured. Minor injury to his ankle. He will be kept off all house shows until he is completely healed up. WWE has not cleared him to wrestle. Obviously, this is due to the hellacious fucking TLC match that we seen on Sunday night, which, in turn, in my honest opinion, was the best main event that WWE's put on in 2016 as far as a championship match goes. So that's the reason why AJ Styles was not deemed ready to compete tonight. He did come out in jeans. He was visibly wearing a foot brace or an ankle brace or a boot around his foot. So he is not ready to go. WWE, as a precautionary measure, keeping him off of all house shows, all live events, until he is completely healed, because he is going to be a huge factor, not only in what's coming up for the Royal Rumble, but for WrestleMania season as well. So those are the things that are happening as far as SmackDown goes. As far as the show tonight, as far as SmackDown goes tonight, guys, I mean, not a lot happened as far as progression for storyline. There really isn't any need to. I mean, Monday Night Raw, they never build towards anything, and they got a fucking pay-per-view in 2 weeks. But SmackDown, if you were looking for something to happen tonight as far as progression or new feuds building or new feuds starting, you know, this is not going to be the episode for you, man. A lot of what happened here tonight was a continuation of what we've seen at TLC, and I expect that to continue for at least another couple of weeks. We got Alexa Bliss and Becky. Becky wants her rematch. We got Rhino and Heath Slater getting their rematch tonight for the Tag Team Championship, so that is over and done with. So we got to see Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt move on to something else in the tag team division. You know, we got Dean Ambrose and James Ellsworth. This is still continuing. We don't know where that's going to lead. AJ Styles is probably going to distance himself from this as he gets ready for the Royal Rumble. Here, The Miz has moved on from Dolph Ziggler, who we did not see tonight. Miz and Dean Ambrose got into it as Daniel Bryan sanctioned them into an Intercontinental Championship match tonight, which was the main event, all stemming from something that happened on Miz TV. We'll talk about it. But we got the Royal Rumble that is coming up in about 7 weeks. And SmackDown doesn't have a pay-per-view to build towards exclusively for their brand. So we're not going to really get anything building as far as a brand goes. You know, you're going to see a women's championship probably and a WWE championship and maybe a tag team championship. You know, other than that, you know, everybody else is pretty much going to be building and getting ready for the Royal Rumble, because they're going to be participating in the 30-man over-the-top match. So if you're not an AJ Styles, if you're not a Randy Orton and a Bray Wyatt, if you're not a Becky or an Alexa, who are probably going to be in the championship match, whatever the case may be, you know, there's really not much to build on SmackDown right now. So for anybody that's saying, oh, JD, it was a boring show, it fucking sucked, this and that, use your fucking brain. We're getting ready for the Royal Rumble. There's nothing to build towards. You're building towards the Royal Rumble. Everybody's fucking mindset is, okay, I'm going to be in the Rumble. I'm going to win the Rumble. There's not much to go into a storyline there. Unless you're an AJ Styles or, like I said, a Bray Wyatt or a Randy Orton, you have no business. You don't need a storyline. So just keep it at that. It was 2 hours of wrestling that was uneventful, and they didn't have anything to build towards. Just leave it at that. So the show started off with AJ Styles walking down. He was in jeans. He didn't have a fucking ripped portion of his jeans on his ass cheek. Like Solid Monster said, he was the ass that runs the class. I started fucking laughing out loud, and people didn't realize what was going on and why I was laughing, but I found that hilarious. AJ Styles walks down, and like I said, he was wearing his boot. He is not medically cleared to go on tonight's show. Cuts a promo about how he did everything at TLC that he said he was going to do. He beat Dean Ambrose. He retained the title, right? James Ellsworth got his ass kicked. Ellsworth comes down, starts making fun of AJ Styles wearing the boot, right? And then AJ says, shouldn't you be in the back? I don't know what he said, man. I was eating dinner at the time. I think he said something along the lines of, what are you doing out here? Shouldn't you be in the back drinking some gin and tonic? You know, gin and tonic. You know, it was cheesy, but whatever the case may be. I love AJ Styles' new cocky attitude, man. And he has every right to be cocky. He is the best wrestler. Not only in the WWE, he may be the best wrestler on the fucking face of the earth right now. But hopefully he gets better soon. WWE needs him. SmackDown needs him. And with the news that's going around with John Cena, people are very concerned about John Cena's well-being and what he is doing with WWE right now. Nobody knows. They're worried about his schedule for 2017. John Cena has more projects coming up, and I reported this on Off The Script. So if you guys missed that, links will be down in the description below if you guys want to check out John Cena news about him being very limited in 2017, which is probably right now in the mindset of WWE going to mess up their plans again for WrestleMania and their proposed match with The Undertaker at WrestleMania 33 in Orlando. But that was the way the show opened up. Ambrose came out. He didn't say a goddamn word. I thought he was going to get on the microphone. AJ didn't even say anything to him. He went right for James Ellsworth, and he dirty deeds Ellsworth right into the fucking mat, and then he walked off. Nothing at all. He was going to be on Miz TV later on in the evening, and that was it. He didn't even take his jacket off. He just fucking beeline right to the ring. Dirty deeds. That's it. Over. Opening match, seen a tag team title match. Like I said, Rhino and Heath Slater cashed in their rematch because they have a clause in their contract for a rematch. This match lasted longer than the one at TLC, but tonight we seen the same result as we seen at TLC. Still, your tag team champions, Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. They defeated Rhino and Heath Slater. The Freebird rule will be in effect with the Wyatt family. I will be reporting that on Off The Script this weekend. The Freebird rule will be in effect for the Wyatt family. If you guys don't know what the Freebird rule is, it's the same thing that the New Day is using to gain an advantage over pretty much everybody in the WWE. We can see any combination of the three members come out on any given night. We can see Big E and Xavier Woods. We could see Big E and Kofi. We could see Xavier Woods and Kofi. You know, so the same thing is going to happen with the Wyatt family, which is great because on a given pay-per-view, we can see Bray and Luke Harper team up and Randy Orton can have a singles match, or we can see Randy and Luke Harper team up and Bray can have a singles match against somebody else. It opens up for them to do more instead of just keeping them solidified as a tag team. I like that, and I think it's going to work wonders for the Wyatt family, which I am completely enjoying right now. This is the best thing about SmackDown Live right now, is Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt, and Luke Harper. But they did end up winning. Very, very weird ending, but I loved it, man. You had Sister Abigail about to be applied to Heath Slater, but instead of doing it, Bray Wyatt pretty much just stood there, and he threw Heath Slater from the Sister Abigail position into Randy Orton, which led to an RKO, pretty much as a sacrificial lamb. RKO to Heath Slater, 1, 2, 3. Rhino was fucking kneed to the outside. He played no part in the ending. 1, 2, 3. Wyatt and Orton win, and they retain the championships. I do believe they are going to be setting up Wyatt and Orton versus American Alpha right now. As far as SmackDown Live goes, and with the breakup of Rhino and Heath Slater on Talking Smack tonight, I don't think there's any other team right now even worthy of being in the discussion for tag team championships. But I do wonder, where are the Usos after having a great moment at Survivor Series and a great closing sequence with Sheamus and Cesaro? Where are the Usos? Are they hurt? Is WWE keeping them off TV? Are WWE punishing the Usos due to what Naomi is doing backstage and what she's saying on Twitter? I don't know. But the Usos, they've been a very, very pleasant surprise in 2016, ever since the brand split and ever since they went to being heels. But they haven't been on TV in 2 weeks, and I'm wondering, where are the Usos? Maybe they're just waiting for something to brew with American Alpha. I don't know, but the Usos have been noticeably absent off of SmackDown for the last 2 weeks. Carmella cuts a promo in the ring about Natalya. She says Natalya is jealous of Nikki Bella, and that's the reason why Natalya attacked Nikki Bella at Survivor Series. This led to Natalya coming to the ring. They were supposed to have a match. They brawled. They went to the back, and the match never took place. Natalya was chased to the back, or they both were running to the back. Natalya chased Carmella to the backstage area. This led to Natalya walking into Nikki Bella as she was trying to chase Carmella to the back. She tried to utter the words out of her mouth that it wasn't her who attacked Nikki Bella at Survivor Series, but she couldn't get the words out. And then Nikki Bella's just looking at her, shaking her head, and she storms off as if she doesn't believe what Natalya is saying. So this is very interesting right now, what's going on, man. If it ends up being Natalya, I'm not going to have a problem with it, because I think Natalya works better as a heel, and I think that would be better for her character. But I also stated on Twitter that I think even the bigger surprise would be, and it would be great not only for SmackDown, because it would be such a shocking moment. It would be great for the women's division, because all eyes would be on the women's division, and it would create such a buzz. Everybody loves Becky, man. I understand you guys love Becky as a face, but sooner or later she's going to have to transform and become a heel. And I think this is the perfect opportunity, man. The storyline is there. You know, she feels underappreciated. She is the women's champion going into Survivor Series. She was not chosen as the team captain. Nikki Bella was chosen as the team captain because she's the reality star. She's a leader of the division, a leader of the locker room. She's the longest reigning Divas champion of all time. So WWE chose Nikki Bella based on seniority over the current champion at the time during Survivor Series, which was Becky Lynch. So I don't know what's going on there, man. I would have Becky be revealed as the attacker. I think it would do a lot of good. That's just me. But if it is ending up being Natalya, I'm not going to have a problem with that either, because I do think Natalya works as a babyface, more so, as a heel rather, more so than a babyface. Hype Bros versus The Ascension. Will The Ascension ever win a match on SmackDown Live? I don't know. You know, will The Ascension ever get pushed and be treated as a threat in the tag team division? Probably not, which is a goddamn fucking shame. I like them, man. They got potential. If you build these guys right, if you cater to these guys and make them a fucking threat, I mean, look at the teams that they resemble. Demolition, Legion of Doom. How can't you take these guys and make something of them? They were booked brilliantly in NXT. They had the look. They had the entrance. They had the theme. They were fucking the bullies of that entire tag team division. What is so different here? It all comes back around to political garbage. Somebody in the back does not like the Ascension. Somebody in WWE does not like the Ascension, and that is the reason why they are not getting pushed. They get squashed by the Hype Bros, and it was a Rough Rider, I believe it was, to one of the guys in the Ascension. It was over. 1, 2, 3. Victor. Victor receives a Rough Rider. 1, 2, 3. Hype Bros win, and it looks like they're setting up the Hype Bros for some momentum building here, as they might be the next ones to challenge for the tag team championships, as they mentioned that several times tonight, that the Hype Bros are, wanting to just get rid of the Ascension and pretty much concentrate on the tag team championships. And one thing I do like about this match, the cutaways, man, it reminded me old school. They did some cutaway promos during the entrances for both the Ascension and the Hype Bros. I like that dynamic. That worked back when I was growing up watching old school WWF. I like that WWE still sometimes goes back to that, but they don't do it enough, and they don't do it all that often. So it was a nice treat to see that with both the Hype Bros and the Ascension, as they got some words in before their match tonight. Miz and Maurice for Miz TV. This was probably the best part of the show. Miz brought up retaining the Intercontinental Championship at TLC. Dolph Ziggler is now behind him. Miz brought out his guest tonight, which was Dean Ambrose. He mentions that Ambrose fell short at TLC. Miz was pretty much digging and trying to get under Ambrose's skin, that he must be the angriest person on the face of the earth after what James Ellsworth did. Ambrose said that the Miz never seen him angry. Ambrose said that he was shocked by Ellsworth's actions after he made him a superstar and pretty much got him a contract on SmackDown. Miz claimed that Ambrose used Ellsworth, and he doesn't blame Ellsworth at all, because he used Ellsworth for his personal agenda to get to AJ Styles in the WWE Championship. Can you blame Ellsworth for finally realizing and coming to the realization that Ambrose was using him? So how could you blame him for turning his back on you? He pretty much was the puppet, and he realized, listen, I'm going to cut these strings. No more fucking treating me like second rate, So that's pretty much what Miz wanted to bring up tonight. Ellsworth broke away. How can you blame him? Ambrose started to get fucking pissed. Miz says that we should see Ambrose versus Ellsworth tonight, but he gave him a dirty deeds to open the show. Ambrose told Miz that he was slowly pissing him off. Miz gave Ambrose then, this was the best part of the show, and I hope the Miz gives one of these to Monday Night Raw every single fucking week. In fact, I'm going to give one of these to Monday Night Raw every single week. Miz gave Ambrose a participation award for trying at TLC. He didn't win. He didn't do good, but he tried. And Monday Night Raw should be receiving a fucking participation award, because they come, they participate, they never do good, they never win, they never make anybody excited about what they do, but they tried. Monday Night Raw gets the Miz Participation Award every single week. So then Daniel Bryan comes out. He books a match with Dean Ambrose and the Miz, and the crowd starts doing the yes chant. And then Daniel Bryan, not enough. He's like, why are you guys yesing for? Are you yesing for because you want to see an Intercontinental Championship match tonight? So the Miz is going crazy in the ring. Intercontinental Championship match booked tonight. Ambrose, Miz, main event on SmackDown. One thing about this Daniel Bryan situation, though, with the Miz, you notice if you watch the Miz's match, he's using a lot of Daniel Bryan's moves and his mannerisms. He used the big running knee tonight. He uses the yes kicks. He uses that missile drop kick in the corner. Not as pretty as Daniel Bryan, but he tries it anyway. But this all has to be leading to something, man. It really has to be leading to something. Otherwise, they wouldn't be doing this consistently every single week. They might be setting something up for WrestleMania. I don't want to say it right now because I think it's too soon. But it looks like they might be setting up something for WrestleMania. If not, Daniel Bryan getting back in the ring for one more match against The Miz and taking the Intercontinental Championship off of him just to get him, his last hurrah in a WWE ring at WrestleMania, reclaiming the title that he had to reluctantly give up. Or WWE could be setting up Daniel Bryan to choose somebody to go against The Miz and do his work for him and take the title off The Miz, being that he can't do it himself. That's probably the most logical thing here. You know, it's too early to say if WWE is really setting up something between Bryan and The Miz. But either one of those situations, I do believe something has to come of this. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a thing every single week. And it continues to be a thing, you know, on SmackDown now following TLC. Since he beat Dolph Ziggler for the Intercontinental Championship in that great ladder match on Sunday night. Baron Corbin versus Kalisto. This was a rematch from TLC. End of days. Beautifully done by Baron Corbin. Kalisto went for a head scissors, and Baron Corbin reversed it into a end of days, which is the best finishing move in WWE. Not only the best, it is the prettiest, and one that should be kept protected. Nobody should be kicking out of the end of days. I said it on TLC night. I'm going to say it again. Baron Corbin has big things coming for him in 2017. He will be on ESPN with Jonathan Coachman tomorrow night at 9 p.m. if you guys are interested in checking that out. Chad Gable versus Tyler Breeze. We had a lot of tag team action on this show tonight, man. We had the Hype Bros versus the Ascension. We had Wyatt and Orton versus Rhino and Heath Slater. We had a singles match here between two tag teams, Chad Gable versus Tyler Breeze. This match ended fairly quickly. It was Gable who hit a crossbody on Tyler Breeze, while Jordan hit Fandango on the outside with a belly-to-belly. Gable with a German suplex bridge to win over Tyler Breeze fairly easily. If this match was on NXT television, these guys would have got 20 minutes easy. The fact that we got these guys for 3 minutes, even less than that, is a goddamn fucking shame. Don't know why. I don't know what's going on with Fandango and Tyler Breeze. Is this their gimmick going forward? I mean, they look like two fucking stunt doubles from the Village People. I don't know what the fuck is going on with these guys, but I want to see more of them. I don't give a shit what their gimmick is. I want to see more of these guys. These guys have what it takes to be a great heel team on SmackDown in that tag team division. It's a shame that they're not being utilized in there. You know, we had Rhino and Heath Slater who were the comedy act, and now it seems to be falling back on Fandango and Tyler Breeze. I don't know what's going on, but I want to see more of them, and I don't want to see them jobbed out. It sucks. And like I said, if this match was on NXT television between Breeze and Gable back in the day, they would have got 15, 20 minutes easy. SmackDown, 3 minutes. Gable wins, German suplex. They get the victory. Does American Alpha, or Chad Gable does get the victory for his team tonight against Tyler Breeze and Fandango, the Fashion Police. Alexa Bliss, I can't even speak. Alexa Bliss walks down to the ring tonight for her in-ring celebration. That was quickly interrupted by Becky Lynch. Bliss said she was happy that she took the title off Becky. Happy endings don't exist. Bliss said that this little bitch, they actually dropped the word. I'm surprised. You see a little bit more attitude in WWE coming out every single week, man. I like it. Alexa Bliss said this little bitch runs the women's division now. This led Becky Lynch to come out. She demanded that she gets her rematch, and Alexa Bliss pretended as if she was going to fight and, defend her title tonight. She was wearing street clothes, but she backed away. Typical heel move. She backed away, slid it out of the ring, and she grabbed the title, she grabbed the jacket, and she walked up the aisleway. Becky will get her rematch. Don't know when it's coming, but it will come, and it will be better than what they did at TLC, because I feel like the tables kind of took away from the story that they were trying to tell in that ring. I think the next time they fight, it will probably be the best match that those two put on, and I'm very excited to see what those two women do. In the main event tonight, The Miz versus Dean Ambrose for the Intercontinental Championship. I had a problem with this. I really did, but I kind of figured James Ellsworth was going to get involved anyway. I didn't want to see Dean Ambrose go from a world title to an Intercontinental title. It seems like WWE has a tendency to do that with Ambrose. I mean, this happened not too long ago with him as well. But I knew Ellsworth was going to interfere here, and that's exactly what he did. As far as the match goes, I don't know what it is. These guys do not gel whatsoever. It was sloppy. It was slow. Miz was overly safe. But then I thought back, these guys were in the two most brutal matches on Sunday night, less than 48 hours removed from what we seen at TLC. So these guys are probably fucking body sore. They're beat up. They're banged up. So putting them in a main event and having them compete at a high level is kind of unfair. So I let it slide. But, there were some miscues here and there. It really wasn't an overly smooth match. I don't know if that has to do with, The Miz and Dean Ambrose not really working all that well together. But in the end, we seen James Ellsworth come down and he played a part in the ending. Ambrose went to the top rope. Maurice knocked him off, and The Miz hits a running knee, Daniel Bryan-esque knee for a 2 count. Ellsworth comes down to the ring, argues with the referee about Maurice. He's trying to lobby for Dean Ambrose. Referee is not paying attention to anything going on in the ring. He's trying to tell Ellsworth to get off the apron. This distracted Ambrose, and The Miz hit a skull-crushing finale for the win. 1, 2, 3. Ellsworth is to blame for another Dean Ambrose loss. So in 48 hours, Ellsworth fucks over Dean Ambrose for the WWE Championship. And then tonight he fucks over Dean Ambrose for the Intercontinental Championship. Ellsworth ran away like a fucking coward. He ran away to the back. Miz celebrated in the ring with the title to end the show. And that was it. All in all, it was SmackDown tonight. Nothing overly exciting. Still better than Raw. And to me, I wouldn't take it to heart, really, because we got 7 weeks till the Royal Rumble. There's really nothing that SmackDown should be building towards. They're really taking bits and pieces of TLC, and they're just finishing up and tying up loose ends, which will be taking place. They already squared away the tag team title situation. No more Rhino and Slater for the Wyatts. We got Alexa Bliss and Becky Lynch still do a rematch. We got the Ellsworth-Ambrose storyline. We don't know when that is going to happen. At this point, I could see Ellsworth eliminating Ambrose in the Royal Rumble. I don't know if that's going to be, but they might drag it out all the way to the Royal Rumble, to be perfectly honest with you. But all in all, it was a decent episode of SmackDown, not overly entertaining, being that they have nothing to build towards. But again, I wouldn't take it too much to heart, as the main thing right now is getting through Roadblock, getting through the end of the year. This happens typically every year with the WWE as we come towards New Year's and the New Year's holiday. WWE really doesn't put their best foot forward, and I'm assuming that's going to be the same thing this year. As soon as the new year hits, man, as soon as we hit that first Raw, first SmackDown of 2017, that's when you're going to see WWE go full speed ahead towards the Royal Rumble, and that's when things are going to start picking up. So for the meantime, we got to get used to these shows that are just going to drag on and nothing's going to be built at all. So just keep that in mind for the shows that are going to be coming up in the next couple of weeks. That is all, guys. Thank you so much for the review tonight. If you enjoyed it, hit that thumbs up. If you did, I will be back tomorrow with NXT and Lucha Underground review. That's going up on Thursday. Out of Nowhere with Joe Cronin tomorrow night at 11 p.m. If you guys missed my upload today, WWE 2K17 Career Mode, Mr. 9 to 5, challenging the Intercontinental Champion in my career mode, Dolph Ziggler. Great fucking match there with me doing the play-by-play commentary. So if you guys missed that, link will be right at the end of the video, man. I am JD. I'm going to upload this, get ready for bed. Until then, I'll see you guys tomorrow night for Out of Nowhere, and then Thursday for Lucha Underground and NXT review. I'll talk to you guys later, and have a good night.